Hi, I'm Ron Papalardo. Welcome to episode 5 of Experiences with God. In episode 4, I described the conversion experience of the famous evangelist Charles Finney, but I also mentioned that I believe every one of us is capable of having an experience with God. So in this episode, I want to share the story of someone most people don't know about, but who nevertheless had some of the most extraordinary experiences with God that I've ever heard of. Her name is Sharon Lund. Sharon hasn't lived an easy life. From very early childhood, she's experienced extreme suffering and challenges that have destroyed the lives of many others in her position. From the age of 3 until 12 years old, she was repeatedly raped by her grandfather. She was terrified of telling anybody about it because he told her, quote, "If you tell anyone, I will kill your mommy," end quote. Every time Sharon's grandfather raped her, an angel would appear to her. And the angel came to take care of her. The angel would lift her out of her body. Her spirit would come out of her body. And then they would go places like to the zoo or to the park, or sometimes they would just play dolls together. The angel not only protected her, but also taught her things. One of the most powerful being the importance of forgiveness. When Sharon grew up, she eventually got married and had a daughter, Janine, but her marriage ended in divorce. Didn't last that long. And she married a second time. But this husband was verbally abusive, which didn't do much for Sharon's self-esteem. He's already has suffered so much. He'd call her fat, ugly, stupid, a worthless person who would never amount to anything. So within 6 months, Sharon couldn't put up with it anymore, so she divorced that husband as well. But the intense feelings of abuse wouldn't leave her. She became tormented with feelings and thoughts surrounding her grandfather's sexual assaults and her husband's abusive behavior towards her. So she developed anorexia. So she decided ultimately that the only way to end her suffering and ease the pain was to kill herself. So she got a bottle of pills and swallowed the entire bottle. But the only thing that happened was she got sick and threw it up, which made her even more frustrated. So a few days later, she went into her bathroom and placed a razor on her left wrist. She leaned back against the bathtub, but just before she slit her wrist, she made an excellent choice. She remembered God and she decided to talk to God first. She said, and I'm quoting here, "God, please forgive me for what I'm about to do, but I have to end this pain and suffering. If there's anything I need to know before I kill myself, let me know now." Sharon says that immediately the entire bathroom filled with the most beautiful, radiant white light, brighter than anything I had seen on the earth plane, she says. I felt warmth and love from this light. My body became calm, and I felt a deep sense of inner peace and love surge through me. Then, telepathically, I heard, "My child, it's not your time to die. Get yourself into the hospital, and when you return, you will become a healer. You will teach around the world and write books." Sharon obeyed the voice of God. She called her doctor, went to the hospital, and wound up staying in the hospital for 3 months. Here's a picture of Sharon right here. When Sharon got out of the hospital, all the things that God told her in his message came to pass. She has traveled all over the world, become a healer, and written books. She's taught countless people and made a positive impact on countless people's lives. She just exudes, as you can see from this photo, she exudes a spirit of joy and optimism that's just contagious. Sharon now lives in Hawaii, where she runs a publishing company that she started herself called Sacred Life Publishers. I was so impressed with her that I chose her company to publish my most recent book, which is called What I Learned from the Dead. She is one of the most loving and compassionate persons I have ever met. It's a testament to the power of God's love to heal us. Even though she's been through so much, she's this just wonderful person. Sharon is living proof that anyone can have a direct encounter with God. One of the things that strikes me the most about Sharon is that when she spoke to God, she was completely honest with him. She told him what she was going through, what she was planning to do, and then she asked for God's guidance. This makes the point that if you want to have an experience with God, it's so important to have an open heart and also a heart that is honest, full of humility and sincerity. It's to be childlike in the best sense of that word. Notice that God referred to Sharon as my child. We are all the children of God. So in my view, it is our birthright to be able to communicate with God. One of my teachers said that prayer should be like a baby crying for its mother's milk. And Jesus taught this, quote, unless you change and become like children, you'll never enter the kingdom of heaven. If you want to know more about Sharon Lund, I wrote about her in my book, Experiences with God. Here it is right here. Experiences with God, stories about mystics, and a guidebook to your own divine encounter. You can find this book on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. My wife also helped me write this book, so you get 2 for 1. In my next episode, I will continue with Sharon Lund's story because you haven't heard anything yet. There's even more. A few years after the experience, Sharon had another powerful experience with God that has even more lessons for us to learn from. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I pray for your highest good.